Hello, 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 everybody. I think this is the earliest we've seen like legitimate activity in the chat, which is awesome. I'm just trying to get everything ready. Logain, hello. Mutant Marshmallows, hello. Gigi Ega, hello. I'm glad everybody's here. Just need to get my computer still warming up, so stuff's taking a little longer to open. Architect Alsaifi, hello. Hello, Chen9877. Randy, why is the tie? The tie is because it is autumn officially, and AJ is missing, isn't he? When it gets cool enough to wear like shirt and tie suit, I like always do. So let's see. Put some music on. So get used to it. That's what I'm saying. What the? There we go. Okay. Photoshop. Why is Photoshop not opening for me? Why, you are handsome than other streams. Mama-kun, hello. Am I saying that right? I don't even know. Or should I just call you Mama? Let's open up a Discord too. What? Thank you, Mutant Marshmallows, for the subscription. That's awesome of you. I still need to record a new notification for that, I think, because it just seems like a letdown. Hopefully we can do this. I don't know what's going on with Photoshop. It's not opening. Let's see. Gigi took care of that one errand. I'll take care of the other later. Sweet. Mama. Or Mama-kun, as you want. Okay. Schneewart, hey. Magawa, hello. Alright, let's find some submissions. Let's see how many we've got. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's awesome. This is cool. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Another one. McMystery Animates. Thank you. Well, if I can get Photoshop open, that would be terrific. It's being weird. But regardless, we'll again, that is looking dope. Yes. Mystery, hello. Still at work. Hey, no worries. No worries. Let me, you know what? Here, we'll do this. While Photoshop is trying to open, we'll open these in here and just drag it over. How about? Okay. First, Logain, this is yours, right? This makes me happy. I like this a lot. A hype train is close. What? I've never seen a hype train, whatever that is. Anyway, Adam P. Seal, hello. Okay. Logain. Tell us about your character here. What's this? I mean, obviously he's a barber, right? I love the wrinkles. I love the... Whoops. Oh, there goes the Photoshop. You know what? Let's do this. We will bring all these into Photoshop real quick. Photoshop. Valleybug, hello. All right, here we go. First up, Logain. Tell us about your character here, bud. It's obviously cool. Let me just tell you my thoughts first. And you had said that you were looking forward to feedback, right? So I'm just gonna give it, since I know you were wanting some. First, I'm gonna talk about all the stuff that I think is awesome. So I love that you've got this very cat-like silhouette. It's working really well for you. I think it's phenomenal, super good. Oh, nice. I didn't make the connection between the barber and the cat. That's cool. I like that. So yeah, this is a 3D model. So he's working really well, I think. I think you nailed the wrinkles. The silhouette is working really good. The shapes I like a lot. I think I like that his pants feel really baggy too. Sphinx cats have that. They just feel like everything is just kind of, their skin is just kind of hanging on them, like super saggy, super lots of folds, that sort of stuff. So I like that. Let's see. Yeah, so okay, I like it. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what else to say. I think it's awesome. I think yeah, especially for how much time you had to do this. This is really nice. I love this angle right here. Just totally, it really shows off the awesome cat shapes. Very cool. And I like the age spots that, you know, kind of mimic the spots on a lot of those cats. That's really cool. I like it. It's very cool. There's skin disease, collivitility. Yeah. Very cool. Randy can't talk. It is amazing. It's true. It's having a hard time finding things to really be critical of. The only thing that I'm Yeah, like the only things that I think I would say anything about would be like things that I would have done differently stylistically, but that's not really a critique, it's just personal preference. So yeah, he looks great. I love this. It's so cool. So cool. Nice job, man. Great artist at Bernie, Michelangelo, Randy Bishop, Logie. Nice. Yeah, very cool, man. Okay. Adam P. Seal. Okay, tell us, Adam. Tell us about your character here. I mean, there are a few things that I can't tell are going on, right? Just got the paw-like fingers with the claws. All right, she's got that very feline sort of feel to her features and stuff. She's got the cat eye on her ear, I'm assuming. Are you, Adam, are you here? I should probably check that first before I jump in. Yeah, you're here. Okay. Yeah, you did something similar to what I did. Crazy cat lady, maybe one too many facelifts. Nice. So you can, looking at her, you can tell that a cat is the inspiration for this, which is great, right? That was kind of the whole purpose of the brief, right? Was to use that cat as inspiration for your character. So that's great. I like the scarf that's kind of indicative of a tail, which is cool. Old party lady tried to fit a tail. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. You can totally tell where the inspiration came from, which is awesome. I like that she's drinking milk out of a wine glass. That's funny. Yeah, that's cool. Got like a subtle indication of a pointier ear, which is cool. You got the more, I mean, you could totally turn her into a cat, you know, pretty easily. But she's still obviously a lady person, so that's cool. I like it. Okay, next is Valleybug. Valleybug, let's take a look here. Sorry, I'm tired, man. Alright. This guy's cool. I like him. I like the yarn tattoo. That's a nice touch. That's cool. I like it. Yeah, so Valleybug here went a little more creature with this, which is totally fine, right? It's still, I think, still more zoomorphic than anthropomorphic, because it's still, I mean, it feels a lot more human than it does animal, right? Despite the fact that he's got a tail. I like the wrinkly head. That's cool. I like the pointy ears. I think it's a cool little character. I think the long claws are cool. I like the violet sort of skin too. That's cool. Oh, excuse me. Reminds me of Nightcrawler. Yeah, it totally does. So yeah, it feels. I was thinking like mutant sort of character, like one of the X-Men or something. So it is sort of. I could totally see this as, one of the like alternate X-Men characters or something. Like the long fingers and claws, the wrinkly head, the pointy ears, the tail, and the tattoo. That all totally screams cat, which is great. It's cool. I dig it. Very cool. And I'm not gonna be, unless people have like specifically asked for feedback, I'm not going to be critical of any of these. This is mostly just to appreciate what you guys have done, which has been really fun so far. Mutant marshmallows. I'd love some feedback as well. Okay. Tell us more about your character. I'm curious. And let me turn on the voice chat in case you want to tell us about it that way instead of typing it, because I'd like to know more about this guy, because there's obviously we've got some Asian influence in there. But I want to know the story behind like the bell and the lantern and the costuming and all that stuff. Let's see. Try to exaggerate the length of the limbs, the wrinkles, the jumping motion, the tail with the long piece of the belt. Cap tongue with the feathers. Ah, gotcha. Nice. Just thought of an old Asian man. Okay. They're going to have the same reference image or just the same theme. So this was just, the challenge was to design a zoomorphic character. So it's a human character with characteristics inspired by a Sphinx cat. So that's what we're looking at here. This is very cool. I love his costume. I love all these little details. Like the rings on his wrap. That's really cool. I like now that I know that these are it's like cat toys, I think that's really cool. Again, this guy's got obvious feline sort of inspired features with the pointy ears, the cheekbones, the nose, the mouth. Elongated limbs and stuff, I think, are working really well. This tail sort of shape is really cool. Overall, I think it's awesome. Let's see. Try to exaggerate his knuckles slightly like the Sphinx feet. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's really cool. The only you had said, you've got the exaggerated wrinkles. You've got lots of wrinkles in his costuming and stuff, which is awesome. You've got some wrinkles going on in his face and stuff. You had specifically said that you were exaggerating wrinkles, so I think if you really want to exaggerate the wrinkles and go really, really wrinkly, you've got more room to do some more of that. You could fit, quite a few more wrinkles in there. But that said, overall he's working really well. I think my only real critique, I think, would be this hand right here. It's feeling a little let me do this. The anatomy is just a little off. And I think part of it is the angle that his hand is. So right now, sun comes straight in, right? Okay, so let me get my handy reference sword. So right now, his arm is at an angle kind of like this, right? Which is a really kind of an awkward. And then, like, if my arm is in that position, it's actually hard for me to spread my fingers out at all. Anyway, I think he just needs a little bit more of a relaxed pose. He's got his thing over his shoulder. I think his arm's coming out here. He just needs a little bit more of a relaxed pose, because right now it's like his arm's coming out, but I don't know, the angle is just off and strange. And then the anatomy of the hand is a little bit weird too, because it seems like this we've got here is making me think that this is going into a thumb, right? But then you've got his finger right there as well, when in reality it'd probably be more like right here, right? So if his hand is, you are looking at his hand from this angle, you get a little more meat right here. I mean, really, really subtle, tiny little changes. But with hands in particular, you need to make sure that you're really diligent in finding reference and making sure that the anatomy is looking consistent. But overall, this is really, really nice. I like him a lot. He's really cool. I do wish there was a story behind who he is, like the staff with the lantern and the costuming and stuff, because it seems like there could be a really cool story, and so I wish there was one. But other than that, it's really solid. I like it. Very cool. Let's see. Get a broom to demonstrate. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, the shoes are awesome. Didn't want to make a nice backstory for him. It's something I'm working on. Awesome. Yeah, let us know. It'd be really cool, actually, if you guys, if this just kind of kept going and everybody, had awesome backstories for their characters and stuff, and we just had a whole bunch of really cool story ideas going on Discord and everything. It'd be really cool. Also feels a bit Christmassy to me. It's probably these kind of feel like holly berries or something, and then you got just the red and green everywhere. But anyway, very cool. Okay, next is, what's going on here? AJ. Is AJ here? AJ, I haven't seen you in the chat, I don't think. Has anybody heard from AJ? Maybe we'll wait on AJ's. Okay, so here's mine that I did. So let me tell you kind of my thoughts as I was going through this. So first of all, Sphinx cats to me are they're like a high maintenance cat, right? They're super expensive. They're really finicky with, their owners tend to be very finicky with food, and they tend to be really spoiled and really high maintenance, right? So that was kind of the idea here. Is it's this old lady who is wealthy, right? Who dresses really nice, has really expensive things, but can't cover up the fact that she's aging, right? So she's got the sapphire cat eye jewelry, and then she's also, I embraced the whole no hair thing, and so she wears furs to sort of compensate for that. To kind of, like, since she has no hair of her own, she wears this fur cape, right? But that's basically, I got the like age spots to kind of be reminiscent of a lot of the spots and stuff that those cats have. But that's pretty much it. She's not as interesting as some of those other characters, right? She's just a wealthy old woman. But anyway, Marshmallows has to get going. Heritage Day. Oh, nice. Well, thanks for joining us, Mutant Marshmallows. Enjoy your time with your family. That's awesome. That mouth area is so expressive. I can feel the disapproval. Yeah. Oh, so in terms of her features and stuff, I did try to channel some cat in there. She's got the sort of downturned pouty upper lip to kind of make it feel cat-like, right? And she did have like a pointy-ish ear, but it's covered up by the hat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too complicated, just rich old lady. All right. Okay. We'll have to wait for AJ, I think, to look at his, but all right, this is so beautiful. Thank you, Logan. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Aga, thank you. Let's open our Mind Flayers. Do some coloring on these guys. So that was fun. It was really cool to see all the artwork you guys did, because yeah, I didn't look at any of the submission stuff until today, because I wanted to keep it a surprise. And so it was a very pleasant surprise. You guys did a great job. So I'm excited for the next one. I haven't completely decided on the next challenge yet, but it will be something October appropriate. And I'll have that up in the Discord hopefully by the end of the weekend. Channel Weapon, thank you. Oh, you Burgett today. Okay, start nonsense speech. Nice. Anyway, another thing, starting next week, I'm switching to my days, streaming days, from Monday, Wednesday, Friday to Tuesday, Thursday. I keep having to cut back because things just are crazy and I've been getting burnt out. And as much as I like streaming, I gotta cut back again, so we're gonna cut back to twice a week, see how that goes. But I don't plan on stopping because I enjoy it too much. But Anyway, amazing submissions, yes. Thanks everyone for the participation. That was very challenging. I've learned a lot and hope we will have more to challenge. Awesome. Thank you, Valley Bug. And Danny Cortez, thank you. These are, if you weren't here on Wednesday, these are monsters for our cyberpunk D&D characters to fight. So here's our lineup. And these guys that we're working on today are, monsters to go along with these. I should probably get rid of some of this stuff, huh? Dun, 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 dun. That one we haven't talked about. That one we can get rid of. Okay. And so, again, if you weren't here Wednesday, these are D&D monsters called... Shoot, what are they called again? Illithids or something? Mind Flayers. Like the Cthulhu type monsters with the tentacles and stuff, but I tried to keep them separate from, I didn't want to land in the same spot that those monsters typically land in. Right? I wanted them to feel a little different. So I didn't do the just like octopus head type thing with just the tentacles coming down right here. So illithids, yeah. Anyway, so I tried to come up with some designs that were a little bit different, but still the people could still recognize them as those, Mind Flayer monsters. Through context, if nothing else. Anyway, so we had fun. I had fun with these guys, and I've been looking forward to painting them since Wednesday because I've had these ideas for the colors and stuff since Wednesday that I've been dying to try out. So, and they won't be red. Just so you know, in case you're wondering, this is just to kind of fill the colors, get the colors established, like the silhouettes established, and then we'll lock the transparency on the layers so we don't have to worry about coloring outside the lines, and then we'll go to town. Oh, Unleash the Scotsman, there it is. Right, let's set a timer. Ready, go. Okay. Well, what you guys want to talk about? Well, I could just be silent, a silent Scotsman for 10 minutes. would be a waste of points, right? We've got 10 minutes. Talk about space. Like outer space? We can talk about that. It's a really interesting subject. So actually, physics is one of my favorite topics. Even though I'm garbage at the math and formulas and all of that stuff, I really enjoy learning about it, thinking about it. So that's a good topic. What about space should we talk about? Something that I think is interesting. You stream on Twitch and YouTube. Yes, so this is streaming to YouTube as well and Facebook. Jeremiah Goodwin, hello. I am having a nice day. His legs are cool, thank you. So, something interesting about space, I think, is like really everything we know about space, about the universe, which is quite a lot actually, comes from observing light, right? So looking at observing light in different forms, so like the temperature of the light, the frequency or radiation that we're able to sense and measure and all that stuff. That's what all our knowledge about the universe comes from. Right? It all comes from light, which I think is really interesting. Which just kind of goes to show how much you can how much there is to learn, you know. It's really cool. Really cool. That sort of thing is I wore my Space Time shirt yesterday. I missed it by one day. Should have worn it today. Let's see. What's the most difficult topic to you when you studied space? The whole... So the theory of relativity that like Einstein came up with, right? The idea of time and space and how they affect each other and how like time is relative, space, it's all like the theory of relativity. I still, no matter how many times I have it explained to me, which has been quite a few, I still can't wrap my mind around it. And the thing that's crazy is it's something that Einstein just came up with, you know, just this brilliant mind without the assistance of any real technology or, you know, measurements or anything like that. Just came up with this theory. He's like, okay, this is what makes sense, and so here's my theory, right? And it's bonkers. It's so cool that he was able to, like, it's amazing to me that certain people are just blessed with that kind of genius, you know. The kind of mind that just blows me away, you know. And it gets me thinking about really like mankind's potential, you know, like how, like what could mankind really be capable of if one man's able to come up with this, you know, theory of relativity that has since been, you know, validated by measurements and studies and all this stuff. It's crazy. I still don't understand it, and there's lots of things that no matter how many times I have it like explained to me or read about it, it's just, it still blows my mind, right? The way that time and space both are relative. So like the Paul, thank you. You're a fan of Neil deGrasse. Are you planning to draw some art about space topic? I mean, we could. We certainly could do that. As of right now, I'm not thinking about it, but thing that's crazy to me is Samuel Adrian. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So, the idea that space and time are both relative, right? The faster you move through space, the more space kind of shrinks and time shrinks until, like, if you are able to approach the speed of light, right, you could observe all of space and time together in one, like at the same time, right? You could, if you were able to approach the speed of light physically, like your body and your mind were able to handle that, you could observe all of space and time together, right? It all just kind of somehow shrinks until it's all present before you, which, again, I don't understand, but I find it really interesting. And then so I'm trying to think about color and think about physics, which I haven't ever really done before, which is, it's tricky. Anyway, so that's something really interesting and really mind-blowing at the same time for me. He's feeling like the Incredible Hulk, which is not what I wanted, so I'll add a bit of variation to his color here. Something else I think is interesting is if you had, let's say you had a piece of equipment that was designed to let you see that was powerful enough. Let's say you travel 365 million light years from Earth, right? But you have with you a piece of equipment that's able to see to Earth, right? Let's say you've got some kind of crazy powerful telescope that's able to see Earth from 365 million years away, 360 million light years away, right? But you have this telescope that can see Earth from that distance. If you had that, you could actually observe dinosaurs, right, in real life, because the light traveling from the Earth is 365 million years old, right? So the things that you're seeing, that you could actually, you know, look into the past and see, you could actually observe things from. Anyway, it's just really interesting. The whole space-time stuff, light, all of that. It's just super interesting. And like, the more, not that I know much about it, right? I'm not a physicist and I don't plan on becoming one. But every time I do learn something, I'm just kind of blown away by like what's possible, you know, theoretically. It's really cool. Anyway, let's see. New question. Why is the speed of light exactly the way it is? No more, no less. That's the, I don't know. That's the speed at which it travels, I guess. I don't know. Something interesting though. And I heard this from a third party, so I don't know if this is true, but I find it interesting. This friend of mine was telling me about, he was listening to a podcast, like the science podcast, that these scientists, so they were they had this theory that light is matter, right? That it's something that has like a physical, like we don't think of light as having substance, right? We don't think of it as having like a physical, we don't think of it as matter, right? We think of it as light, right? But this theory was, right, that light is matter. And so what they did is they built like this tunnel that they filled up with some sort of really dense gas, but it was transparent. All right, so light could travel, like pass through it, but it was really anyway, then they shone a laser or something through it, and they were able to slow down the rate at which this light traveled through the tube, right? Because it was traveling through this thick gas. Even though the gas was transparent, it still slowed down the light, demonstrating that light was actually matter, which is cool. Like I said, that's not something that I know is 100% accurate. It's something I heard secondhand, so don't take it as fact or anything. I've been meaning to actually look up and see if I can find that research, if it actually exists, because that would be cool. Let's see. Did you guys know that to this day we don't know exactly the speed of light because there's no way to know if the light goes the same speed in both ways, so it's just accepted that it does. Oh, well, welcome back, Mutant Marshmallows. We've been talking about space and time and how crazy it is. Actually, I have a few, so I've got a story journal that I keep. Eli, thank you. So I keep a story journal where I write down different ideas for potential stories and stuff like that, or, you know, notes on certain stories that I'm working on, you know. And sometimes I get there are a lot of them that have to do with this sort of stuff, like space-time and theoretical physics and all that stuff, because I find it super interesting, even though I'm not a genius or anything like that. But I find that stuff really interesting, and so I'll make up science or theorize on things that probably aren't true and like make stories out of them. I have quite a few of those. This stuff is it's just really cool, you know? Really cool stuff. Let's see, best tip to learn colors, Roger. Never happy with my colors. That is an excellent question. I think learning color theory, like how color works, is a good idea. So, and this has a lot to do with light and what we've been talking about, actually. So, the temperature of a light source will affect color, right? All color is light, right? It's, let's say you have, light shines down onto something. Like the only reason my tie, like this looks blue, the only reason that looks blue is because light is traveling into that thread, and the wavelengths that bounce back, like the thread absorbs some of the light and then reflects some of the light. The light that it's reflecting is the blue wavelengths, right? So anyway, all color is light, and the temperature of a light source affects the colors that you see. So like if you've got like a really red light source, right, and that's like your only light source is just red coming in, it's going to affect the colors, because whatever surface that red light is shining on, all that it's getting is red, right? So it's only able to absorb or reflect red, right? So let's say you have like a green object, which is the complement of red, right? The local color is green, but you have a red light source shining on it. It's going to absorb that red light, but it has no green wavelength to reflect back, and so it's going to look gray. Like it's not going to look green, right? Anyway, I think part of learning how to use color is learning how color works. And maybe that's just because I'm a nerd and I think it's super interesting. But I do think that's a big part of learning color is, I think, observation. Like if you have like a lamp that you can shine, light onto an object in a dark room or something, and you can you can get like colored film or colored tissue paper or something, and then just experiment with different colors over the light. See how that affects color. And then there's, certain colors that go well together, right? You have different color schemes. You have analogous, complementary, triadic color schemes, split complementary color, like all these different sort of patterns that you can use to help you decide what colors to use. But that's all stuff that you kind of have to learn and discover, or take a class, right? There's a lot to think about when it comes to color. Family got here an hour before the stream. That's why it seems like they were only here. Gotcha. And I like space. Space is cool. I like space too. Although I would not want to. Like, space also scares me. Because it's so huge and potentially, it's not designed for people to live in, right? Nothing lives in space, as far as I know. So like astronauts, that sort of thing scares me. The idea of like going up and living in a space station where there's just, I don't know, there's like this much space between you and death, right? Always. That's crazy and creepy, and I feel the same way about the ocean. The ocean scares me. I mean, I like to swim, right? And I've enjoyed swimming in the ocean and stuff. But the idea of like deep sea diving or something, that is legitimately terrifying to me. You have like monsters live in the ocean, you know? It's like a totally alien world that is not designed for people, right? People can't live in the ocean, and it's like it's designed specifically to keep people out, you know? No, it's crazy. I have a hard time with movies like deep sea horror movies or thriller movies with it's like, oh, you can't breathe. I always find myself like holding my breath in those movies. Like I have to like consciously tell myself that it's okay to breathe, that I'm not drowning, you know? Anyway. I'm only really afraid of the ocean. What kind of music did your generation listen to? My generation? Am I that old? I really liked 90s music, like 90s alternative rock and stuff. I loved the I don't know, I like all kinds of music, but for a while I was really into like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Goo Goo Dolls. I listened to a lot of depressing music too, like Stone Temple Pilots and I mean, not so much anymore. I don't like depressing music anymore, but I used to. Let's see, where do you take inspiration from with creating art? I feel like I'm always in a sketching stump. Well, Lizzie does very little. I think inspiration comes from all over the place, right? I mean, I like to draw people. So I love figure drawing, like drawing from life, but I haven't been able to do that for a long time. But that was something that I used to very much look forward to when I was in college and stuff, was figure drawing classes. But really, I think inspiration comes from all over the place. I think it's a good idea to do studies, right? If you're stuck on, like, if all you're wanting to do is, you know, sketch something, but you're stumped, and have someone model for you, or, you know, go outside and draw flowers or whatever else you can find. I think a lot of art is about study. It's about observing the world around you and trying to capture it, you know. I like drawing art stuff as well. Well, good, Ashley. I am glad to hear that. Fluffy Cucumbers, welcome and thank you. Just 18, so you're old for me. Like Dad. Art Dad. Nice. Nice. You know what's weird is, like, you get to a certain age. I mean, not that I'm that old, I don't feel like. But, and this is, I've talked to people a lot older than me who feel the same way. Like, you get to a certain age, like 21 or something, and then you just feel like you stop aging. I mean, your body keeps aging, but your mind kind of stays in that same spot. I mean, I think 21 is about the time your mind fully matures, right? Your brain is done growing. Not that you're done learning, but that's kind of where you see yourself, you know? You kind of see yourself as that age, That's how old you feel forever. So life, I mean, things change so fast when you're younger, right? Your body's growing, your mind is growing. You're learning a lot of things, right? And then you get to a certain age, it's like, okay, you're fully formed, you're an adult. AJ, you are late. We were going to talk about your character and then you weren't here, so we didn't. But let's do that now. I've still got it right here. Okay, so AJ, let me go back. His name is Kaku, an old guy who works at a tea stall and sells tea on a station for his daily needs. So tell us about... So we've got this old guy who serves tea. And I can see like where the cat inspiration is coming in, right? You got wrinkles and stuff, which is great. I love this right here. Like that feels very, like the wrinkles in his, like the pit of his elbow there and stuff. It feels very much like a Sphinx cat. I like the wrinkles in here too. It's very subtle, but you can tell that there's some of that inspiration in there, which is cool. No notification pop up today. What? Did Discord fail us today? I don't know, it was there. I guess you missed it. Lizzie does very little. Sounds like it's right out of a children's story. It's true. Very low earning to survive. So he sells tea. Nice. I like it. I think this is the most subtle use of the Sphinx cat we've had, but that's not a bad thing, right? I think the idea was just to use, Sphinx cat, as inspiration for your character, and you did. So it's great. It doesn't matter that it's not super overt or, zoomorphism is meant to be a tool, right? Just like with anthropomorphism, which we've talked about this a little bit, so I apologize for those of you who have heard this whole lecture thing before, but like anthropomorphic characters like like Disney's Robin Hood with the walking, talking animals, right? That's an example of a very anthropomorphized animal, right? But you also have animals like why can't I think of a good example? Anyway, like most Disney movies, like the horses that people ride, they don't walk upright and they don't talk, but they still have more personality than a normal horse has, right? That's anthropomorphism as well. You're still plugging a little bit of human personality and you're still plugging a little bit of human characteristics into the animal. So it's still anthropomorphism, it's just not as extreme as a walking, talking animal, right? So this is similar, right? Zoomorphism and anthropomorphism are both tools to communicate what you want to communicate, right? So if you think, I want this guy to feel really saggy and wrinkly, right? You bring in a little bit of inspiration from the Sphinx cat, right? It's a tool to use to say what you want to say. It doesn't have to be like a crutch. It doesn't have to be like a gimmick. It's a tool. Anyway, he's also not really able to do most of the labor work. Thinking how I can use that idea, more so. Yeah. It's a nice job, man. I like him. I really, like I said, I really like this. It's a really solidly drawn arm and hand. I like it. Well done. Okay. Okay, I need to actually start thinking about this a little more. So the description of these Mind Flayer creatures talks about how their tentacles around their mouths are like black and violet, but then they have different colors. Their skin can be all kinds of different colors. So I'm going to, just so that that violet all over the place is distracting me, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm just going to kind of block out some gray here so that I'm isolating the violet to where I really want to put it. In fact, I'll do this whole thing gray. Everyone here is older than me. I'm sure you're right about that. And you keep making up, like, you keep going back and forth on your age, Ega. Like, originally you said 14, then you said 13, now you're saying 14 again? So you're 14, for reals. This alien is so cool, thank you. I'm having fun with these guys. The color part is the part that I've been most excited about. Because there's so much, like, especially with like alien creatures, you can do whatever you want with the colors. You don't have to feel stuck to traditional skin tones or skin patterns, like of warmth and cool and all that stuff. You can do anything. It's super awesome. Maybe I am fine. Oh, by the way, guys, I have to end the stream early today. I've got a meeting. So we're going to end at 12 instead of 1. So it'll be 3 hours instead of 4 today. And then we'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks, everyone. Maybe next time I'll be able to do more stylized one. Cool. A bit bummed. By now I would have had sketches or thumbnails done for Inktober, but I've been so busy. Oh, dude. Gigi, don't sweat it. I haven't participated in Inktober really for years. And there's always that, like, guilt. Because I think a lot of people want to participate in Inktober because it's a cool challenge, right? It's a fun idea. And it's a cool exercise, and you know it will be good for you, like to improve your skills, right? But there shouldn't be any guilt associated with it. But I think a lot of us feel guilty anyway. Like, a lot of times, a lot of years, like, I'll start participating, and then I'll get like 3 days into it, and then be like, I can't do it anymore, and then I feel guilty. But that's dumb, right? I use a different brush for some of this stuff because there's so much. We got so many variations in color. The scratchy texture is just not working for me as well as it did on the other characters. A lot of pressure. I never managed to finish it. I love to, but deadlines always get in the way by the end of it. Yeah. Used to draw every day, but for myself, not for October. Sorry, I'm tired today. Doing October and January. Who says you can't, right? Because there are so many art challenges out there now that, like, you can find one for any time, or you can just make up your own, you know. I think the thing that's cool about Inktober is that it's like it's become such a huge thing that it's like you just get to. It's just cool to see all the art and to kind of be part of that, you know, if you can. Kind of ride the wave. But like I said, it shouldn't be. I think too many people feel guilty for not participating or not, you know, participating as much as they felt like they should or whatever. Which is silly. Let's see. I can't wait for Randy's next challenge. I am excited too. I want to come up with something good, so we'll see. Andre Kling, also on Twitch. That is true, and thank you. It's good. I'm excited too. I think, yeah, it'll be fun. And I'm gonna try to make them more specific. Like give like an actual like character design brief, and then have you guys actually design a character for story, right? Because that's what character design is all about. It's all about the story. It's all about designing something, designing a character to tell the story, right? And so it makes more sense to do it that way. New subscriber to YouTube. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it. I haven't announced the new challenge yet. Challenge I should give myself instead of Inktober is to learn perspective. It's a good idea. Violet in the mouth. Evan, thank you. The other thing that was specific to these guys in the description I read was they have really pale eyes. I'm gonna go really pale violet maybe. We'll probably do him like we did our tiefling, so he's got these what's supposed to be like solid yellow eyes, but kind of indicated irises because it's hard to really emote. It's a little harder to get really convincing emotions from a character when they don't have any irises or pupils, you know. But we'll see. You have to go back in later and rough some of this stuff up, these transitions. Just so these guys match the rest of the lineup. It's awesome how you pick your colors. Oh, your inner thing. Oh, thank you, Logain. I appreciate it. Really love to learn how to render properly. I always struggle so much and have no idea where to start. What are those creatures for? So these are we started designing some characters for a hypothetical D&D campaign. So with these tribal cyberpunk characters, and this was just kind of an exercise we started with the very first stream a couple months ago. And we started a lineup. We started with this druid girl, and then we did this tiefling fella and this ranger elf lady, and then these are, I can never remember the name of them. These are D&D monsters for them to fight, but cyberpunk-ified. Yeah, that's what these are for. Mind Flayer, D&D Mind Flayer characters. Hello. Why is that so? Bode Sama, hello. How's it going? Welcome to the chat. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What's your deal? Why are you here? What do you do? What's your favorite color? Who's your favorite Power Ranger? Whatever you want to say. If I handle the shapes, thank you. Thank you. You guys are so nice. It's no wonder I keep coming back. I wish I could just stream my work all day, you know? It's nice to have company. They've got some kind of cool pattern. Favorite power was Ranger was Jungle Fury. I don't know who Jungle Fury is. I only remember I watched Power Rangers when they were like very first generation Power Rangers. All I remember was red, pink, yellow, blue, black, white, green. That's how I think of the Power Rangers. How many monsters do you plan to design? Is there a minimum set for a pitch? No, I mean, this just kind of started out as a exercise for the first character. Alright, let's design a character to this. We kind of had a brief, but not really. And then I enjoyed it, so we just kind of kept going. We just kept going, and so we might come up with more, we might not. I would like to do some more party characters, like protagonist characters, because there are so many different like races in Dungeons and Dragons. So got like dwarves and orcs and dragonborn characters and all that stuff that would be fun to explore. There are so many versions of Power Rangers when I watch that they all have these red, blue, yellow, pink, black Power Rangers. You prefer more fantasy or sci-fi characters, or do you like both equally? I like fantasy stuff better personally, just because things are more... I like magic. I like more organic stuff. Yeah, anybody's welcome to join the voice chat. We just haven't really... It hasn't been a very popular thing to do for whatever reason. But yeah, feel free to say hi in the voice chat.
Hi, Randy.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well. And I just wanted to say to congratulate all the artists that participate in the challenge. They all have amazing work.
Agreed.
And I just love your stream, and I'm looking forward for the next challenge.
Me too. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this is... Who is this? Valleybug? Is that who this is?
Yeah, I'm Valleybug.
Have you been in the chat before, the voice chat? I feel like you were.
No.
No?
This is my first time.
I don't know why I thought that, but... Where are you
I
from?
think I'm from Mexico. I think
nice.
the reason the voice chat is not very popular is because in my case I'm a little shy.
No worries. I get it. I'd probably be doing the same thing. But it is nice to actually talk to people.
Yeah. I wish you could stream more of your work.
I would, but I mean, I can't. I'm really busy at the moment, and I can't stream what I'm working on, right? So, and I gotta make money.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be different if I had like... I know some people like just stream full time. That's like their job, which would be kind of cool. But I don't see that happening.
We gotta work to get that money.
That's right.
I'm just working right now.
So what do you do? I'm trying to remember.
Basically, I'm a graphic designer, and I work in a software factory. So
Cool.
my work is mostly UX or UI design.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Very absorbing at sometimes.
It's good. So you do enjoy it. That's good. I know a lot of people, they get into like UI or UX design and they hate it. But some people really enjoy it. So I think every job is that way. But
Yeah, I enjoy it, but I think I enjoy more doing art, doing character design or animation,
yeah,
that stuff.
well, I don't blame you. Obviously, that's my preference. Though I do enjoy just doing graphic design sometimes. I'll even like doing typography or whatever. It's just it's fun to switch it up sometimes, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see. Try the NFT craziness. I have not done the NFT thing. I didn't understand it, and I tend not to invest in things that I don't understand. But like with Bitcoin, all the Bitcoin craziness, I still don't understand it. So I haven't ever purchased any because I'm like, I don't want to buy something I don't know what I'm buying. You know?
You just buying bits.
It's like I just don't get it. Like
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the same channel.
you're making money, but how are you making money? You don't even really own anything. Like I don't get it. Look.
Yeah, like the whole concept is a little confusing.
Yeah. I just need to find someone who's like a financial wizard to manage all my stuff for me.
Yeah, like the one trade they're already doing with art, by making it original pieces,
Uh-huh.
by just assigning some bits of information like a signature.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird, but that way you can own art, an original piece of digital art. So that's weird too.
It's super weird. Especially when like people still will like post stuff, right? It's like, oh, here's this NFT thing I did, and then people can still like save that to Pinterest or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the whole like the appeal of owning a piece of digital art when you can get digital art for free. I don't know. Maybe it's just the idea of using it for your own. I mean, I get it if it's because I've purchased art from people, like digital art, but it's usually to use in something, right? Like, oh, I'm purchasing this person's time to do this like this 3D model or this whatever, but it's because I want to use it for something, you know.
I think it's more like a lucrative thing.
See that?
Making money, making more money of art,
Yeah.
owning art.
That part of it I just don't understand. The whole art, like the art purchasing industry, like fine art industry, all that stuff, I don't get it. It's like, how is this painting worth, $50,000? And why would you spend that much money on it? I just don't get it.
Because in 5 years it would worth more.
Yeah. But like, why? That's the part I don't get. Like, why is Bitcoin worth money? Why is this art piece worth more than this one? And I mean, some things I understand. Like real estate, I get, right? I understand why a house would appreciate in value, right? and I understand why that could be a good investment. But like NFT stuff, Bitcoin stuff, I just don't get it. And so I have been avoiding it. You know, it's hard for me to buy something I don't really see the value of.
Of something you can own in its own terms. You can touch, you can grab it, you can have it in your own desk.
Yeah, it's like, oh, a first edition of this awesome book, I'd buy that.
Yeah,
but
I totally get it.
This bit of, you know, ones and zeros, I don't want to own something like that. It's weird. But I mean, a lot of people are making money doing it, so that's great, but I'd rather not. But anyway, let's see. Let's catch up here. There's stuff going on in the chat I'm missing. Let's see. Back up. Feel the same with Twitch. Just started looking into it and it feels so alien. With blimps, videos, bits. Yeah. Privilege to say that it's yours. Yeah, I guess. Mic button on the bottom left next to your name. I was able to sell an NFT art, I would 100% do it as long as someone wants to buy it. I mean, yeah, it's whatever makes money is great, but it's just crazy. Krugerrands? What is that? Krugerrands? Chatty is good. Just, yeah. Feel bad for like not paying as much attention to the chat as I should, but I mean, I like it when you guys are chatty. Should have made their fingers webbed or something. Maybe not. Let's see. Starting a stream when not many people are there. Wait, what? I think it's interesting is the idea of having an original digital piece. I think most stuff that goes on the media right now is not nonsense, but the idea of ownership is something digital I can understand. Krugerrands are a South African thing. Basically a coin or currency you buy that appreciates in value as it's made of gold or silver. Nice. I mean, I understand in theory the idea. I don't know, I have like a mistrust of digital things, you know? Actually, this reminds me of a lawsuit I read about. So, this was several years ago. I read this news article about this lawsuit. Basically, what had happened was it was some sort of simulated reality game like Sims or something like that, where you build a house or you buy furniture or whatever. It's like you live this little digital life. And someone, this guy had spent all this money on this, digital mansion, right? And someone broke into his house, in virtual reality, right? Broke into his house, stole his furniture, and the guy sued him, right? And this, which seems bizarre because it's a game, right? It's, I'm sure whoever did it was just, they could have just been messing around, not really thinking about it, oh, let's break into this, virtual mansion and have a heyday or whatever. But it was, I guess, it became an important case because it kind of determined or helped establish what property is, right? Can you own digital property type deal? So anyway, the plaintiff won his case, and I don't remember what the defendant had to pay or whatever, but it was just really interesting because that's not something I had really ever thought about before I read that. Yeah, I guess if you're spending money on this digital mansion, you don't want people messing with it. But it's just kind of crazy how things change.
That really sounded like a science fiction premise.
Yeah.
For a book or a movie.
Yeah. I read this book. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Sunflower Field Studios. Welcome and thank you. I need to turn this down a little bit. If I can. Because that is super loud. Anyway. Yeah, it did seem like a bizarre thing to sue somebody for, but, if you had spent a lot of money on something like that, and someone just stole it, which that reminds me of another article I read about, which involved a dad and his son. And I think I actually have talked about this in the stream before. So there was this guy who I don't remember how old he was. He was in his 20s or 30s, living in his parents' basement. Kind of the typical story you hear about, right? This guy does nothing but play video games in his parents' basement, and his dad had tried to kick him out, tried to get him to make him get a job, pay rent, whatever, but he also didn't have the heart to just like kick his son out of the house without a job or whatever. So his son was just kind of taking advantage of the situation. He's like, oh, Dad's not really gonna kick me out. I can just mooch off of him forever. And he was playing some role-playing game, like World of Warcraft or something like that, where he's living his life virtually, right? And his whole life is this character, and so that's all he did all day. And he'd spent, I don't know how much time, he had, lots of time invested into it and stuff. Anyway, what his dad did was he hired an in-game assassin to hunt his son's character down, burn all of his stuff, basically destroy his son's virtual life, so that he would have to start at like level 1 or whatever, and just completely devastated this guy's. Anyway, it worked. Hired this in-game assassin to hunt his son down, just kind of hound him and come after him over and over and over again until the game just wasn't fun anymore. And that's how he got his son to move on, which I thought was crazy and sad and awesome all at the same time. Like, that would be a really fun job, an in-game assassin. Like, hire me to hunt down your loser son's character, and I will do it.
I guess some people are hired for that in some games.
It's nuts.
Just for stream sniping.
Yeah.
Just to bother the streamer.
It is crazy the way, like, that is not something I would have ever thought somebody would be able to make money at, just a few years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't think of getting in touch with artists like you years ago.
Yeah.
In a simple and so fun way.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for technology because I work from home. I wouldn't be able to do that just, not that long ago.
Yeah, and I guess the whole situation just accelerates the need to work at home, to do your thing at home.
Yeah.
Three years ago, I was going to the office daily, on a daily basis. But right now, I am working from home, and it's all working fine.
Yeah, the pandemic has been an interesting thing too for as far as work goes. I mean, I've always worked from home. I've never worked in-house anywhere. And so all the pandemic did was just kind of open up more doors, make more opportunities, because a lot of studios, I mean, all these live action productions shut down, right? Like, oh, we can't have people together, so let's move away from live action and get into, like, do more animation, because animation can all be done remotely. And so it kind of created this crazy surge in the demand for animation, and work and the way that the industry works and all that stuff, which has all been good for me. I just hope it sticks.
I hope to. I hope. That way, when I work in animation or illustration or character design, I hope I can get a job that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's catch up on the chat here. Da-da-da-da-da. Heard similar stories with World of Warcraft where people would use hacks to loot and resell items. Well, hello, Ega. Welcome back. Let's see. It can be very dangerous. Some people can do crazy things when they feel pulled out of something they love. Yeah. I saw that some parents deleted their son's entire Minecraft world after he spent ages building it up and building amazing things. And just because he didn't do his homework. Oof. Craziest thing is that the parents could just be out of sync with reality. I remember my parents always complaining about the amount of hours I watched cartoons and played video games, but that was kind of building my passion. When YouTube came out, who would imagine that you would have YouTubers? Yeah, it's crazy. The world is very much changing, right? Like I never in a million years would have thought people would actually make money streaming video games, you know? It's crazy.
I see there's almost 12 o'clock, so I guess I'll be going. And thank you very much, Brandy, and I really appreciate your feedback and
No problem.
the whole stream thing you're doing. I'm really learning a lot watching your process, and you're a really cool guy, man.
Thanks. It was good to talk to you. Thanks for jumping in the chat or the voice channel. It's nice to hear another human talk.
Yeah. I'll be doing it some other day.
Cool. We might want to
Cool.
host some more, like, some actual events on Discord where all it is so instead of a stream, it's just, we get together on Discord and chat and stuff,
Sure,
which would be
sure.
kind of fun.
Sure our own process and our own drawings and projects.
Be cool.
Well, see you, Randy.
See ya.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. It's only 11 o'clock for me, so I still got another hour. But let's get into this guy's mouth. Let's do something. Gross. You sure I won't talk again until I feel confident in voice chat? Fair enough. More tech for home office. Yeah. I feel like I've got a good setup. I've got my Cintiq, I got my webcam, I got my computer. Don't know what else I'd really need. Except maybe actually it would be really nice to have something I could use to stream traditional drawings. I think that would be fun. I think people would appreciate it. But then I also need more bookshelves because I've started just stacking books wherever I can find space, including my drafting table, which means I can't use it. But I'd love to get into traditional painting again and stuff. It could be really fun to stream oils or gouache or watercolor or something like that, because I haven't done that stuff for ages. So a nice setup that way would be really cool. Okay, for now, I've got a thing for spots. I decided whenever I'm drawing some sort of creature, I always, for whatever reason, always give them spots. I don't know what it is. VR would be cool. I've been wanting to try the quill thing, but haven't. People would move towards the city center and away from the fields. Now they could go back to small cities. That would be cool. Have a good impact on the environment. Imagine how much pollution is generated just to bring people in and out of the workplace. Yes. Good creature. Thank you. Bring some of this texture from this brush back in, because that's what we've got with our other characters. let's do this other guy's skin first, and then we can think about costumes. Let's make this guy a more, make him a warmer color. Forget about us? What do you mean? Okay, tentacles. The violet in there. Okay. These characters would look awesome as miniatures for a board game. That would be cool. That would be cool. Have you ever thought about creating your own IP? Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. I've got a lot of projects actually that I'm hoping to one day develop. It's just like getting anything of your own made, like especially like with, I'm thinking specifically in animation. It's a tricky business. Tricky business. But yeah, I have several stories of my own that I want to develop. Some of them I want to make sure are done in animation. Some I thought about writing just like books or whatever, but it's all very what was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, yeah, I have a lot of ideas that I want to get out there, but finding the time to really develop them, or being like finding the right, having connections. You need connections to get anything made in animation, right? There are gatekeepers at every studio to discourage people from pitching ideas, or to keep people from, you know, developing ideas that might compete with theirs or whatever. So it's a tricky business, but I do plan on cracking the code eventually. It'll happen eventually. I just need money. That's what I need. I need a bunch of money so I can just do stuff myself, you know. I can just hire people and get my own thing going. That's the ultimate goal. Ultimate plan is to have my own studio, do my own thing, develop my own projects, and help other people get their projects made as well, because I know how frustrating it is to have an idea and not be able to get anybody to look at it. So I want to start a place where we make cool stuff and have like an open door sort of policy when it comes to pitching ideas. Granted, I do think you do need gatekeepers to a certain extent, people to kind of sift through things and make sure you're not wasting all of your time listening to pitches, because that can happen, you know. But anyway, I want to start a revolution, animation revolution, but it's not that easy. Don't get angry, but I don't like doing creatures that much, but they look dope. Thanks. Who misses the Scotsman? Oh, unleash the Scotsman that it is. Right, here we go. I hate you. Have you looked into digital comics? Yes. But I mean, I've thought about doing. At one time, I was seriously considering doing like a webcomic or a graphic novel, and funding like the graphic novel through Kickstarter. But I hate doing comics. I don't enjoy them, and I started working on it, and it just sucked all the joy out of the project for me. So I have thought about it, but I'm not gonna do it. Just because I want to still love the projects, you know, and I don't. As much as I do love comics, I just hate making comics, and so I decided just to avoid that whole arena because it's not fun for me. Valleybug Scotsman. Egga, you secretly like it. I know you do. You secretly love the Scotsman accent. Even though I keep finding myself slipping out of it when I'm supposed to be using it. I haven't been very consistent. And I can't believe I used to hate painting. I used to hate colouring things. And now it's like, oh, I love it. It's so much fun. It's crazy how much more enjoyable things get when you get comfortable with them. Right? I used to be very not good at colour in general. Right? Everything I did was in grayscale for the most part because I did most of my work in my sketchbook, and so everything was in grayscale. And then when I went to college and started having to paint things, having to use colour, it just didn't. I hated it because it wasn't easy, right? But I knew I needed to get good at it, so I worked at it, and now I love it. I feel more comfortable, and it's crazy how just being comfortable with something makes it so much more enjoyable. And when you enjoy something more, it tends to turn out better. Let's see. Do you have a color scheme in mind, or you just go with the flow and what the art tells you? So these, I've just kind of been going with it, like just kind of messing around. I wanted one with warmer colors. This guy, warmer colors. Well, no. I'm thinking warmer because he's warm greens, yellows, warm red, orange, and then I'm thinking this guy's cool just because it's cooler reds, cooler violets and stuff, even though this guy's actually warmer colors, right? Because he's got the reds and things. But anyway, I knew I wanted like one like warm, one cool. So that's kind of the only thing I really had in mind, and then I've just been haven't really had a plan, just been messing around. I'm thinking I'll sneak some more saturated oranges in there. Why would you imagine that it is the boss? Wait, who's the boss? Big mouth character. Please don't eat me. Oh, I wasn't thinking either of them was really in charge. These are just like two variations on, like two examples of these creatures. I imagine there would be like hundreds of these guys that the characters have to fight their ways through, or run into on a regular basis. So these aren't really meant to be specific characters in terms of like there's not one more important than the other. They're just two examples of what these guys could look like. Thinking of them more as like a horde or a hive, a group, than as individuals. This might look a little confusing, but let's see. Randy, the song is awesome. Say the name. Let's see. That was. The one currently on is Too Late Now. The previous one was Oh What a Whirl by Jules Gaia. Let's see, but you would imagine them with different abilities, one more tinker, the other a ranger sort of creature. I just was thinking, I mean, their whole MO is they eat brains, right? They catch people, eat their brains. They're kind of like zombies almost, in that they, they want brains, and that's kind of what I was imagining their focus would be. They're just like, they don't see people as people, they see them as, an expendable resource, right? Something to eat, something to consume. In terms of ability, I didn't really see them as using weapons either, just kind of like these monstrous things that, but I suppose they probably would use weapons, right? Especially if this is cyberpunk, they should have weapons that they use. Let's see. Colors and shapes really help to read them from far. Oh, thank you. Whether dummies, smart fellows, they look dope. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Belts on the vest gave me the impression that they are more than simple zombies. Do they control the tentacles, or does it just have a hair dynamic? So yeah, the tentacles, I'm imagining them as like, that's how they like scoop brains out and stuff, or they like, thinking they're very much very articulate, right? The tentacles are what they, they like dig into the brain with the tentacles and shove it in their face type deal. Kind of looks like a bounty hunter. I actually thought about that when I was, after I did his like overall things. It's like, oh, it kind of reminds me of, I think the overall things made me think of that Star Wars crocodile sort of looking guy, bounty hunter. So when I said these guys were like zombies, I only meant that they eat brains. Not that they're stupid or mindless or anything like that, but that their interactions with people are mostly they revolve around, obtaining brains to eat. And that these aren't like the big bads in the story. They're just the, examples of some of the monsters that they have to fight. Okay. Bosk, is that the... I can only imagine the kind of environment they live in. I hadn't exactly gotten that far. But I was imagining... So I talked about this Wednesday. I was imagining this campaign that these characters go on to be like either up in the mountains or subterranean. Because the first character we designed her to need oxygen. Like an oxygen tank. Partially, I mean, originally I think just because it kind of looked like a beak, and that was part of her identity, was that she had an affinity for birds. That kind of became part of the story, and so there needs to be a reason, right? Looks like you have branches on his triceps. Bronchia? Oh, gotcha. These, are you talking about these like flap things? I think I was just in like I was thinking about my Sphinx character and how Sphinxes just have flaps of skin all over the place. And I thought it looked cool. It's interesting to have sea creature as a villain in a story where oxygen is a main resource. Do you imagine your animations as 2D or 3D ones? It depends. Some projects I see as working better in 3D. Some I think in terms of 2D. These I think would probably be best in 3D because, I mean, just from a practical standpoint, these characters are a little more complicated. And it would be impractical to try to animate these in 2D for, like, if this was a series or something, and there are dozens, if not hundreds of these guys. It just makes more physical sense to do it in 3D. But I do love 2D animation. Good 2D animation. I hate bad 2D animation. But most of the jobs that I do, most of the work I get is for like 3D productions. So that's usually where my mind goes, is 3D. Like, how would this rig, how would this be animated, how would this move? But always in terms of 3D animation for the most part. And so I've kind of gotten used to creating characters in that arena, so I tend to not think too much about how complicated it would be to animate in 2D, because the animation world is kind of gravitating, at least in feature film, for the most part, it's gravitating almost completely to 3D. So that's where my mind is usually at. Because you have to be mindful of, like, if it's going to be animated in 2D, you don't want it to be too complicated. You want animators to be able to reliably draw these characters, right? And if it gets too crazy, that makes it way more difficult. Something like what they do for upscaling. You could HV something or uprender an image. I'm afraid I'm not sure what you're talking about, Andre. Brandon Mendoza. Thank you, Brandon, for liking the stream. like deepfake, but the other way around. You animate in 2D with simple shading, and the machine learning would re-render it with all fancy designs. Ooh, that would be cool. That deepfake stuff is crazy. Diego S. Morales. Well, welcome. You can achieve that effect with 3D technology, having 2D render out of a 3D technique. Yeah. It's crazy how, like, the kind of tools that are available with animation. Love to see a stop motion with your designs. Yes. I actually, my big project the one that I've been working on, there's this project I've been working on for almost 12 years now, that I really would like to see in a style similar to stop motion. I like it to look like stop motion, like a 3D production that looks like stop motion, like really awesome gritty textures and really deliberate movements, so that it's hard to tell if it's stop motion or not. Just 'cause, I mean, stop motion is great, but it's super expensive, labor intensive, and for the size of project that I am thinking, I mean, it's a hugely ambitious project, and it would just be, just couldn't do it in stop motion. Anyway, but that's, yeah, I would love to do that. Wait, what layer am I on? What? How did that happen? Yeah, you're right. There is something magical about stop motion. I think it's, like, for me, it's just a beautiful medium because everything is so intentional, right? Because it takes so long to do to accomplish anything in stop motion, whether it's like building puppets, from the puppets to the sets to the animation, everything is so detail oriented that it's like every frame, if you do it right, every frame is just this glorious experience, and that's what I want for this one project, is just for it to feel very intentional, right? Very yeah. So I'm right there with you. I love stop motion. I think it'd be really cool to see. Okay. Oh, don't forget to hit save. Thank you. Have you seen a small animation that is going over Instagram of a barbecue made of cloth material? I have not. Oh, hydrate. Thank you. Maybe I have seen it, I just don't recall. Because I follow a few different, like, stop motion animation accounts on Instagram, but maybe I haven't seen it. But I'm sure it'll pop up if it's going around. Let's block in. You know, I think I'm gonna do this so that we're not messing with the. So I don't have to worry about messing up our paint underneath. We'll do their suits on their costumes on a different layer. You should have. I was actually thinking about that, doing a save redeem and then doing like a flip canvas redeem. Had a few ideas, I just haven't done it yet. Not sure if you can post links here, but it's called Summer Girl on YouTube. You cannot post a link. It'll kick you out for a few seconds if you try. But you can post it on the Discord server. We need a channel that's just like a channel just for cool stuff to share. So we've got like a resources channel on Discord, but I think that should be more like mostly for resources to help people with their art, you know. So maybe we'll start another channel that's just cool stuff to look at. And if you haven't joined the Discord, you should. Andrea Love. Huh? Sweet, I'm looking forward to watching it. Andre, thank you. Thanks for joining us. It's always good to have more people in the chat. Enjoy your dinner. See you hopefully Tuesday. And those of you, for those of you who participated in the character design challenge, if you post to like Instagram or whatever, make sure you tag me so I can put your stuff in my stories. I should have said that earlier when we were actually going through them, but I forgot. So we've got 10 minutes. Before we cut off, or before we're done, does anybody have any suggestions, anything they've been dying to do or try for the character design challenge? So I've got a couple ideas, but nothing like, solid. I do want to make sure, whatever it is, I'm going to make it, I'm a little more specific. I'll have like a story to go with it, or at least a part of a story, to make it a real character design challenge. But if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Maybe we'll do another channel just for that. Ideas for challenges. ArtStation. Sweet. I'm not sure I'm following you on ArtStation or not, Logame. I think I've seen your account, but I don't remember if I followed you or not. Anyway. Yeah, that was you knocked it out of the park, man. That was awesome. Actually, everybody did a really good job. I was very pleasantly, I don't want to say surprised, but it was really nice to see you guys actually put effort into it. It was really cool. Again, are you talking about you don't have an Instagram account? Is that what you're saying? Instagram seems like it's the for It's like the leading social media platform for artists. I know a lot of art directors they'll get on Instagram, they'll find an artist that they know they like, and then they'll look at who they follow. Like I was in an interview, not an interview, it was like a panel or something with this art director at an animation studio, and she was saying, I really like Cory Loftus' stuff, so if I need an artist, I know I can't get Cory Loftus, but I'll look at who he follows, and I'll reach out to them on Instagram or whatever, or, you know, find them on Instagram and then reach out to them via email or whatever. So it's a good idea to... It's another one of those digital age things like we talked about before. The world is very different now than it used to be, right? It's a lot easier to find work just through social media, which is crazy. Oh, forgot his sleeve thing. Let's see, I do next event for sure. I would have this time, but I had some other things to take care of. Yeah, no worries. There's no pressure. How are we all doing today? I'm doing well. Can't speak for everybody, but I'm doing pretty well. You caught us like right at the very tail end of the stream. We're ending an hour early today because I've got a meeting. So we're ending here in like 5 minutes. Actually, probably as soon as I block in this thing here, we'll raid somebody. Okay, we've got things blocked in pretty well. Oh, thank you, Logain. Should probably do that now. Okay, we'll save that. Nope, save. And then let's raid someone. Raid channel. Let's see, we've got Naomi Full, Sean Sketches, Paul Pape. You guys have a preference who we raid? Let's do Sean Sketches. I don't think we've done him for a little while. Oh, hold on. Let's do Naomi, just for tradition's sake. I need to start following more people so we've got more options for people to raid.
Improvement, you're like, yo, yes, it's such a great feeling to see working. Again. Just kidding. Thanks, Randy. Yeah, check out Randy. Seasoned, professional character designer. Just so good at indication. Indication is wildly important. Happy Friday. Thanks for bringing your people over. And it early, so I thought there would be more time for us to enjoy your stream. I do. You jump in and weird guys, time to go. Let's stop talking about money and just got it for sure. Yeah, appreciate it. Well, you know how it is. You are working. And that one highlight. You know how it is. This is, oh my gosh, once you put like a tiny highlight, it just says a lot. We're not at highlights though, so I'm just gonna get rid of that as much as I want to keep